Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Stephanie Canada, coming in saying hi, hello, and how are you this fine Wednesday afternoon? If this is somehow your first time around, hi, my name is Stephanie Canada. Yes, just like the country. And no, I don't live there. I have the glory of living in Florida, but that's neither here nor there. We are here to just say hi, hello, chat, because, well, there was a little bit of a video that went out recently about my time at Sew Expo 2025. And, well, it was a time, that's for sure. And I've had a lot of lovely questions from all of you. And so I wanted to just kind of hop on a live and answer some of them in, well, as close to person as I can get. So, first off, the most important, if you haven't seen that video, it was sort of a little bit of a business loss, right? And as I am a business, not only on YouTube, but also in my vintage sewing pattern business, do I regret doing this event? And I want to say this as lovingly and carefully as I can. No, I don't regret it. Because I got to meet so many of you. I got to meet so many wonderful people. I got to teach for the first time, which I had never done before, and honestly was really fun. So I want to do it again. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But I did just want to say that I really appreciate everyone coming out. It meant so much to me that you all were there. So, hello, chat. Hi. Northern California. Hello. And we got some Canada. Hi, Kira. And SoCal. Hello. But yes, I just wanted to come on and just really just make sure that that was very clear because I loved meeting every single one of you. It was so much fun for me. But for those of you that are wondering, where can we get the patterns if we weren't there? Because in case you haven't seen the whole video, jumped out halfway, let me show you. The answer is on my website. You can go to backroomfinds.com, which is my website. Do not go to anything.shop.store. That is not me. I am .com. So you can go here and you can see all my lovely patterns. I've popped up a couple that are kid patterns right now, but we will be doing large drops every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern until they're all listed. There were so many because I did only sell 26.7% of the patterns. Oh, we have a gnat in here. How exciting. So there's a lot of patterns to get through and get listed. So just stick with me every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. They will go live on my website. Now, we got some Nova Scotia. Hello. Northern Minnesota. Hey. Yay. Well, oh my goodness. And Queensland, Australia. Hello there, Melinda. I just want to say thank you all so much for being here because what is next? What is next for me in the world of conventions, not in the world of like sewing shenanigans, which I did just dream of an entirely different video, literally on the walk with my dogs earlier. And now I need to make it happen before June 7th when a certain ride closes. But that is for another tale. So what is next for me as far as conventions? Am I done with conventions? Do I never want to go to another one? No. But we're going to be smarter about the next one because the next one that I want to go to is PatternCon 2025. Now, in case you haven't heard of that, which, to be fair, a lot of people haven't because it's the first time it's ever going to be done. Hey, let's bring my friend Tricia, who is the absolute fantastic human being who is running this entire thing in to answer some questions for us.
Hey, I went away.
Sorry, you're back. I'm good at my job.
I love the fancy showing of the comments. I need to figure out how to do that. Hi, everybody. I'm Tricia. I'm your pattern nerd friend. I love all things pattern making. And so we're going to have a convention about it.
Yes. And my vintage pattern nerd heart is so happy about it.
And so this will be our inaugural year, PatternCon 2025 in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you want to find out more, hello. If you want to find out more, we have the website that just went up the other day. It is at patterncon.com. This year's theme is Gather Together, Patterns that Connect Us, Skills that Inspire Us. So my whole idea of a dream, I've been dreaming of this for years, is to have a place where we can just all come together and learn and nerd out about pattern making and fitting. And of course, sewing is included in that. But because there are conventions like Sew Expo and some others, but a lot of them, like International Quilt Fest, which I will be teaching at again this year in Houston, but they're mostly geared towards quilting. And there isn't a lot of garment focused conventions where we can all come together and learn about fitting and drafting in general, and doing fun things like that. So I thought it was time. And since it wasn't out there,
You made it.
I will make it happen. So yeah, this will be.
And of course, I'm over here in the corner, and I was like, "Can I come play? Can I come play? Can I come play?"
She's lying. I was like, Stephanie, please come play. Please come play with patterns with me. Vintage patterns. Yeah, we have lots of amazing teachers. We're going to have keynote speakers. We're going to have vendors. So Backroom Finds will be in the vendor hall, and we'll have Miss Depew. We have, we have some other vendors. I will be selling pattern tools, things that we just can't get anywhere. And I think it's really important, especially nowadays, for us to be able to come together and be in person and hang out and be supported and be surrounded by people who get excited when things fit, or when we have
a journey to make them fit.
Yeah, when you learn how to make them fit, or when you know how to use a vintage pattern. But we have lots of exciting stuff. Will we have rolls of oak tag? It's possible. Yes, I am planning on bringing paper to sell. Yep. And for those of you who don't know what oak tag is, it's like
I was literally just going to ask. So I was like, what is that? I don't know what that is.
It's thicker manila paper that a lot of people put patterns on. So it's quite pricey actually, and usually the places that sell it only sell it in the big rolls. So yeah, I'll bring a roll of my oak tag and my blue dot paper. I like the alphanumeric blue dot paper, which is harder to find. It's become a little easier to find more recently, but
oh yeah, that's what I use when I bother to trace things.
Yeah. You don't have, I mean, that's the thing, is like there's so many cool tools, but it's hard to find a lot of them. So it's where is PatternCon? It is in Charlotte, North Carolina. August 16th and 17th of this year, 2025. And we currently just have a party list going on right now. We will be launching tickets. In fact, I need to email this week to our wait list about the new website. It just went live Monday. So things are happening quickly, but we are going to have volunteer tickets go on sale, I believe April 25th ish. And then we only have 30 volunteer spots available. That gets like extra bonuses, extra time with me, and to help give out all the fancy stuff. And then we will have general admission tickets go on sale May 2nd. So puppies.
We had someone who wanted to bark at the doorbell. So
I
was like, oh no, we're in a live. So everyone, this is Marshmallow. This is the junior instigator on this fine channel.
Such a cutie.
He was barking. I was like, no, wrong time, buddy. But yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised mine, if we have anybody pull up to my house, you'll hear Levi, which is my little mascot.
All right, we got some more questions for you.
Sure.
What is blue dot paper?
So this paper with the it's called either dot and cross, blue dot, because sometimes it's just dots, or alphanumeric. This has numbers and letter. Actually, it might just have numbers on this one. So it's a like pattern making paper, but it's, like I said, it's harder to find. I mean, I'm a person, like, use what you got. I have used newspaper, I've used wrapping paper,
I was about to say wrapping paper, because now on the back of the wrapping paper, they do 1-inch squares.
Yeah,
so you can just use the wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is definitely a you question. Will there be a block of rooms at good rates, or should we reserve now?
Yes, there will be a block of rooms at discounted rates that we already have set aside for people affiliated with the event. Yep.
Sweet.
And we are basically taking over the whole hotel. So yeah, you're going to want to stay at the hotel. It's going to be awesome. There's an indoor outdoor pool, the 24-hour room service, Wi-Fi is included, free parking because you're with PatternCon, like, and take care of you. And we're going to feed you. We're going to get full hot lunch each day.
That's
and
awesome.
You're going to have snacks all day long. So there's going to be prizes. There's going to be swag. There's going to be keynote speakers. It's going to be a blast.
Now, just so everyone knows, in case you're with Tricia's audience or my audience, I will not only be vending, but I will also be teaching my 2 classes that I think did the best at Sew Expo, which is demystifying vintage sewing patterns, because I want people to get hands-on with ones that they don't have to worry about if they tear. Because the ones that I bring to kind of teach people off of are ones that are heckin' incomplete. I think is the nicest way to put it. And then the other one is my Rethrifticing class, which everybody loved. And to be fair, I got the rightful feedback that I should have brought more examples. And if you're watching this from that, you are absolutely correct. So I will have more examples. And the wonderful Tricia and her team are going to provide me with some dress forms, so I can actually display if I bring like 4 or 5 examples, and then we can like go through and we can talk about what I did. So if you wanted to see those classes in Seattle and you didn't get to, you will hopefully get to do them in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes. And we're going to have, I'm trying to think of the classes. I'm like blinking. I don't know why. There's so many. We're going to have like draft your bodice class. We're going to have a couple of lectures on like historical fashion. We're going to do an illustrator class, I believe. We're going to do a draping class. We're going to do a we're going to do a bralette and panty drafting class. We're going to do a fitting or setting up your pant pattern, so that by the end of the class, that's what Jennifer Stern is going to be teaching with us as well. So we're going to do a set up your pant so that you're leaving with a pattern. I think she's even having you cut out fabric so that everything is fit perfect, so that you're just going home and sewing. Now we are focusing on pattern making and fitting, not so much sewing for this year, because it's PatternCon. But it's also our first year. So bringing in a lot of machines and that equipment and stuff, we're kind of shying away from that. But everything will be fitting, sewing focused, learning about vintage, upcycling. We have one lady who's coming to teach us about the oh my gosh, the Keister system, which is a vintage drafting school. Drafting systems, very awesome. Like, just the history of it is very cool. So just honestly, everything surrounded around like history of patterns, vintage patterns, drafting of patterns, fitting of stuff. And that's why I wanted to do a convention, because I'm like, there's so many things that we could do.
Yeah. And then we also have a question. Are there beginner friendly classes as well?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Like both of your classes, people don't have to be advanced.
You don't gotta know anything to come to know mine. Sorry, he's very mushy right now. And then also we have the hotel. I think we forgot to say what hotel it's at.
It is at the Sheraton Airport Hotel in Charlotte.
Sweet. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm sure I'm not sure what none of the software companies showing up. Which software companies do you mean, Shelly? Or do you
Yeah,
know?
right now we are just gonna do. I wanted to get a Clo 3D class, but I don't know that I will be doing that this year. I am hoping Aronica will do a projector sewing class. It's not
Ooh.
confirmed yet. We're
Yeah.
still firming up all the details on all the classes and all of that. The tickets will cover your class, your classes, your lunch, your all the events, all the swag, all of that. There
So
may be additional materials for some classes. So you would buy your tickets and then we will have a later registration of what you're going to sign up for. And we'll have all of that figured out by then.
But so
But
the classes themselves, they don't have to pay extra for that
correct.
like they did it like, so if you saw Sew Expo where there were extra costs, because it was like $20 to get in and then all the classes were extra.
Yeah.
But for you, they're all included, which is
Right.
also kind of why I like the idea. I want this one to succeed because I like Tricia's model a lot better.
It's
Just
like when
saying.
you go to Disneyland, you get to ride all the rides. Yeah, you have to wait in line
Yep.
and do all the things, you know,
Yep.
but and your food's covered. Like I said, like we just want you to show up and have fun and nerd out about patterns.
Yes, please do. Please do. I want everyone to come talk to me about patterns because that just
Yes.
I will have the best freaking weekend ever.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
that's
So
literally
excited.
that's why I wanted to do this. And that's why I wanted to do this live to kind of chat about like what we were planning on.
Mhm.
Because it's Trisha is literally right here, but also she's been so open to my ridiculous event manager. Hey, have you thought about this? Hey, what about this? Like random voice notes that she'll get from me at 2 o'clock in the
Hey.
afternoon while I'm walking around my neighborhood.
Mhm. And I welcome all of that because I and my team, who I am delegating to, am the only one who's doing it. So, there's a lot to think
Yeah.
about. So I
So
welcome any other thoughts that I may have, it's this is my first convention, but I have worked in theater for many years, put on several shows, and also hosted other virtual events, and also participated in several conventions, teaching and being a part of them. So I've done my research. This is not coming out of nowhere. This has been years of planning, but yeah, I appreciate um, Stephanie's event planner mind. It does definitely help. Now, I do want to mention we also have so if you're super anxious and you are a pattern nerder or want to be pattern nerd, also you are welcome.
yes.
We have a virtual thing. So I do twice a year, I do a virtual boot camp, fitting boot camp, all about fitting. And that time is coming up really soon. It's called the Fitabulous Fit Boot Camp. It's
Yes.
5 days of virtual classes, completely free. It's tons of fun. There's prizes to win as well because I like to give away stuff. If you guys are new to me, and that is registration is open for that now. I will put that in the chat. Can I put it in the
Great.
chat?
Oh, and
Yeah.
we have somebody who did yours already and says it's completely worth it. Spectacular.
Yay. Oh, it's telling me I have to join. I should have done that. Now I can
Do you need to
post.
send me the thing? Just send it
I
to me.
can do it.
And then
So,
Trisha, also we have a
nope.
question about the price range for tickets for the event too.
They'll be about $350
Okay.
for the 2 days.
Yeah. But that's everything. So
Yes, everything include, like I said, your food, your swag, your classes. We will completely take care of you. There will be a couple of classes where there may be additional materials that the teacher will be providing, and that will be, depending on those classes, that would be an extra cost, but everything else is included. And I think your classes, we don't have any extra materials
for mine, no.
Yeah.
No, mine just involve talking and enjoying the ridiculous.
And we have a couple of the bigger classes, but a lot of them are going to be smaller classes, so it's going to be really intimate, and you're going to really get to connect with each other. That's really important. We're going to do a lot of community fostering involvement. So it said for some reason that the comment has failed to post to your thing.
Just text it to me or toss it in Instagram real fast.
Okay.
I'll grab it.
I can do it in Instagram.
Welcome to live, everybody, where, sometimes things go awry. But so Tricia, so I want to know, besides just being a like pattern nerd person,
Mhm.
where did this idea stem from? Because like I
Uh,
know, like I literally. So what's funny is let me lead into this with like a very clear, because not only so Mrs. Depew, for those of you on my channel, you know who Mrs. Depew is. I have made a few of her patterns. She's actually a very dear friend of mine. We're both vintage. She does vintage reproductions. I do the real things. She also does the real things too. But we had been talking with her and Judy Yates of Vintage for Me Too, who's another
mm.
vintage seller who's a friend of mine, about doing a pattern convention. I think we started talking about it in 2019, 2020. So when Tricia told me that she wanted to do this, I was like, oh my God. So someone already took care of like the hard stuff. So now we just need to go and add our weird vintage sidebar to it. Let's go.
And I love it. I love the vintage. Yeah, it's something I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time. I mean, I've been teaching for I don't even think I mentioned that. Like, I do have an online school. These are our new students that we just
Yay!
welcomed into the Pattern Place this week. A whiz at darts. Thank you. Thank you. So I did send that link to your Instagram, by the way. Oh, you did add it.
Yep,
Cool.
it's already in the chat, everybody.
So that link Stephanie just posted, you can sign up for our free boot camp, Fitabulous Fit Boot Camp. Please join us. It's free. Thousands of stitchers from all over the world learn about fitting, learn that it doesn't have to be complicated or hard. But I've been teaching.
And then be okay if you learn the things and then you forget some of them and have to redo it again. It's also okay. It's free.
That's why we do it.
I did it last time. That's why I say that. I did it last time and I learned things and then I forgot.
So I have an online school called the Pattern Place, where we hang out and it's all learning about pattern making. I've been teaching pattern making for like 11 years. I used to teach in person in Las Vegas. I moved out here to North Carolina, is where I live now. And people kept asking me, can you still come and teach, pattern making classes? And I'm like, organizing dates, times, all the things. So I moved them online. And they sat there because I didn't play on social media because I was busy making costumes for people. So had to learn
for a
social
certain
media.
show that we both managed to work for, and yet still didn't actually know each other, which feels
I know.
rude.
We didn't meet until we came into the YouTube world,
right?
So when I started teaching, and the reason I started teaching was because in Las Vegas, as much as they have people who need to make big costumes, there's nowhere to really learn. There was one school.
Yeah.
It was very pricey. It was very limited knowledge. Those kids ended up being interns of mine. And so people were really wanting to advance their skills, learn about pattern making. And they're like, where do we go? And I said, well, teach a class. They were crazy popular. And then I figured there's got to be other people who want to learn pattern making. And then when I started marketing and talking about it, people just, there's this stigma around pattern making, that it's hard, it's going to take forever to learn, you have to know math, you have to be super practical, super technical, and people are afraid of it, or they've tried learning, they've drafted a sloper, they were like, blah, this is crazy, it's not for me. And I'm like, but it's so cool.
It is cool.
So much power in it. And so it just became my mission to make it accessible to everyone, that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to be a whiz at math. You can learn it. It can be fun, and you can do it right away. And so that's my mission with my business and teaching. And that's why I do the free boot camps. And because even if you can't join us in my membership, you can at least take advantage of the free stuff I teach here on YouTube and all of that. So that was really, and then selfishly, PatternCon was like, but I just want to get together with all my pattern nerd friends and like nerd out and learn cool other new stuff, like Haslam system, like Heister system, like how to drape and how to like make crazy origami. If you guys haven't heard of World of Wearable Art.
Oh my gosh, that is, okay. If you have not,
go look it up right now. Oh, after this live.
Yeah, after we're done, I'm going to type it in here. and
Yeah.
you're gonna go and you're gonna thank us for this later because
Mhm.
it's spectacular. Oh my gosh, hang on. World of
Typing and
wearable
talking, it's hard.
art. Yeah, apparently there we go. But oh my goodness, it's so spectacular.
Yeah.
That's the type of in my head, again, crafter's audacity over here. That's the type of thing I'm like, I could definitely figure out how to do that. And
Mhm.
then she tries to drape on her own body and realizes, girl, you got some learning to do up here before you can start taking on that crazy origami stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
Stephanie, that kind of stuff is what I've done for my career most
I
of
know.
my life.
I know.
But I'm not allowed to talk about it. Thank you, NDA.
Yeah, right.
So I would love to participate in World of Wearable Art. I'd love to go and see the show. I would love to bring people who are creating World of Wearable Art pieces and bring them to PatternCon and feature them and like show how cool how all this stuff is, you know.
I might have I don't think she made it in, but I think I have somebody who got real flippin' close.
I know a girl who made it in. Shapes, what is her handle? It's Shapes of Fabric made it
Ooh,
in.
nice.
Um,
But like we might be able to like just so you all know, like again, that crafter's audacity and those networks, baby, foster them, love them, take care of them because you literally never know. Like somebody who you're like, oh, well, I met them at this con, and then you go on to Beyonce's internet and you're like, oh my lord, you've got over 100,000 people following you, and you are nice as pie, and not like fake or just like a real human being.
yeah.
Literally just happened to me. I was like, you were so nice. Like, because we have that stigma, right? We think that like, oh well, this person has this following. They're gonna be listen, everyone's allowed to have a bad day, so you might have them on a bad interaction day, but genuinely I think that people on the internet are nicer than we give them credit for in real life.
That's
Um,
true.
there might be some awkwardness there. Looking
Because we're used
I'm
to
not
talking to a camera by
I'm
ourselves.
not looking at anyone but myself for that comment because hi, did you meet me? You met me. Yes, I'm awkward. Um
We love your awkwardness.
I think that's why
We're amongst
people
friends in chaos.
yeah,
So
right?
that was why. So I just wanted. I selfishly was like, it would be really cool to get us all together and to just like learn all this cool stuff and have fun and take classes. And I bet other people would like it too. That's reason one. Reason two for PatternCon is being in so I've mentioned it a couple times, but I worked in making costumes for big theatrical productions, including Blue Man, Cirque du Soleil, Disney, or my clients. And most of the time, we are invisible people that don't exist to the general public
Yep.
and don't ever get credit. I do have to give my hats off to Paul Tazwell with Wicked. He has been actively introducing his team, talking about what they
Yeah.
did, what parts they played in
Yeah.
creating their. But most of the time, like the thing that I always equate to people is think of your favorite high scale fashion designers, Christian Dior, Alexandra McQueen, Chanel. You know, we know their names, but I guarantee you they have a team of people, pattern makers,
Yep.
who are figuring out who can take their design and make it a reality. That
Right.
is pattern making, my friends.
Yeah.
You cannot go from a pretty picture to an actually made garment without figuring out the pattern.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's high time for us to be celebrating the skill and the people who do it.
Agreed.
And so this year, I'm not going to be able to do that, but I would love to like invite famous pattern makers to come and tell us, celebrate them, give them awards, you know, treat them as the powerful, like it is the quintessential, like you can't create clothing, garments, costumes without the pattern making knowledge. It is not getting the celebration that is due to it. And
Yeah.
so that is a big part of PatternCon for me too, is to just highlight the skill itself and get people excited about it and get people to see how awesome, cool, sexy, and powerful it is.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's it can be accessible to you. You can have it too. Everybody can have access to this power.
Absolutely. And
So
like
stepping off soapbox.
selfishly,
No.
no. I asked the question. I wanted to know.
Yeah.
But like, I would also love, like, because so I am but ye oldie pattern seller and admirer, right? There are pattern historians that some of them I personally know, some of them I know very well. But I would love, speaking of the behind the scenes people, I would love to start getting names
Yes.
to the drawings on these vintage patterns, because those artists, and they were all artists, you
Wow.
know their style. There are some people that only collect a certain artist because of how they draw.
Yeah.
I want to find their names and I want to highlight them,
Yes.
because they have gone into the nethers, they have gone into obscurity, and I hate that,
Yes.
because they worked for a big corporation, and that corporation owned
All the
every
credit.
creative ounce that they got.
Yeah.
So, like, these patterns, hold please. I have a dog. He's cute, but in the way of getting what I want. I love you so much, sir.
Marshmallow.
Hello. Oh, I'm gonna make a mess too. Oh, buddy, you're okay. So, like this, like, I would love to know who drew this.
Yes.
I would love to know that. And like, there are some of those, especially like in the catalogs, that I'm like, you framed those, and those are art, literal art, and yet we don't know their
Who
names.
they are.
And I bet you, bottom dollar bet you, that 9 out of 10 of them are women.
Right.
So
yeah. So that's why PatternCon. So it's selfishly, I just want to be surrounded by my favorite things and learn more about them.
my
But
house of patterns.
also-
What do you mean, Tricia?
I just want to highlight it as a skill and introduce it to people who thought that it was unattainable for them. Because of how it's traditionally taught, is one particular way, drafting, from scratch. And that's not the only way.
Yeah. And Christina said that she loves this becoming more of a thing to see the behind the scenes people. So I do too.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's more, how do you do that? I need to.
I'll show you one more time.
That's so fancy. I love it.
Oh, hello. I met this fine human being while we were at Sew Expo. She is lovely.
And see, that's the cool thing, is like when we get to come together for these conventions, we get to actually meet each other and foster and that's the other thing, is so many people in my membership, only other people in their membership are the people they can talk to about sewing, fitting, making patterns. And a lot of people, sewing is such a solitary thing. Like, we're in our sewing room, sewing by ourselves. And it's a way for us to get together, network, meet other people maybe in your area, connect with other people who just get you, right?
Yeah.
Like, who understand, I've seen a couple of people in the chat saying, so one of my favorite catchphrases is, it's all about the dart. Like, as long as you understand what the dart can do, that's the cornerstone of everything. Fitting, making patterns, all of that. And so when you get your dart right, or it's, in the right place, or you moved a dart and you figured out how that works. And it's like, if you go to your spouse or your kid or your dog and be like, I just learned how to move a dart, they're going to be like, what?
Here, Marshmallow, can you help us out with the what face? That's close enough. Okay, good work, sir. Good work. I'm sorry I interrupted the nap.
So this was a way for us to come together and be like, everybody there will be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, be surrounded by people who are going to get it. Yeah. And they're going to be excited about it.
And that's why I knew, like, when you started talking to me about this a year ago, I was like, oh no. Yeah, no, I'm doing that. Absolutely. Listen, Sandra out here calling me out, need to embrace the dart. Listen, sometimes the dart is there.
That's right. Stephanie, or
the dart is there.
Asked me, because I think with our last live, she was like, so does Stephanie like the dart now? Because I guess you've mentioned in your videos that you hate the dart or something.
I hate sewing them. I know when you get them right, they're fine. I know. How are we friends? You're going to disown me now. I'm aware.
I'm making t-shirts even.
Why do I feel, y'all? I feel like I'm gonna get one of those secretly to my PO box with like no return address. And I'm like, Tricia, listen, I understand what the dark can give you, sir. I'm okay. I'm laughing. Um, so I understand what the dark can give you. I just don't like sewing them. That's all. I find them irritating to sew. That's
Fair enough.
literally it. I understand the power they hold. I understand how well they make the garment fit. I
Well,
still
in
find them
pattern
irritating.
making, I mean, sewing is one thing, and I mean, honestly, can we be real for a second? I would love to just make patterns all day and have somebody else sew my stuff,
Right?
or at least
Like
cut
here.
it. I mean,
Oh my God.
sewing's not my
Yeah.
favorite part, but when you're playing with the darts in pattern making, it's like that's the fun part. So it's like, where do you want the dart to go? Do you want it to be extra
Yeah.
fullness? Do you want it to be, you know, a seam? Do we want to turn it into, you know, a crazy squiggle and make it look like something in world wearable art? You know, like that's the fun part for me. And
Yeah.
I always think of like, I think people who are true pattern nerds, like if you're one of us,
One of us. I feel like most of the 162 people are one of us, though. Like, I
yeah,
think that's.
I think you guys are our people.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
think
are.
so.
Then, you know, it's kind of like a puzzle. Like pattern making to me is like, ooh, let me figure that out. Like all of my pattern nerd friends, we love a challenge, right? We're like trying to figure it out. Like, how would we make that thing? You know, how would we make that? Or how could we turn this thing into that thing? You know, it's the fun of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And I really just enjoy that.
And then we have a couple. I saw at least one. Is there a link yet for PatternCon?
PatternCon.com.
Okay, great. So
all the information is on PatternCon.com.
great.
So right now, we just have a party list, but there is more information about what the event's about. To click on the party list is where you'll see that the hotel and the hotel address to sign up for the party list. But there's, you know, if you want to be a sponsor, we're still looking for sponsors.
Right.
So there's sponsorship packages on there, vendor packages, teacher applications, although we are kind of, I've gotten most of my teacher applications in. I'm just going through and finalizing who's going to fit where in what room and all of that.
Yeah.
That we're getting down to.
But that's so cool. And this is why everybody, like, I knew that I was like, listen, I will absolutely do PatternCon dirty if I come onto a live and I talk about it by myself, because I don't know all the details other than what I've been like, Tricia, we should do this factor of it all. So that's why I wanted to bring Tricia on.
Yeah.
This is her thing that she is putting out into the world, and I want to see it succeed. And there's a lot of you that have been like, do you do anything on the East Coast? So now my answer can be yes. Yes, I do. Am I still in my own state? No, but the reasons. It's fine.
Close-ish.
It's because I like the garment fitting aspect of it. I adore my quilters. They're so wonderful. They're so nice. Like, I love the quilting crew, but like, I want to talk to garment people. That's why I hauled myself to Sew Expo, because it's mostly still garment people. So it's hard for me. Especially when I went into Sew Expo, I was like, oh, why do most of these feel like quilt booths this year? Huh. Okay. So it's hard for me because I want to talk, like what you were saying. I want to create community with people that love to sew things for their bodies. If you're one of my people, do they always fit perfectly? No. Are they going to be wearable? Heck yeah. Listen.
Come join us in the Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp and you can learn how to fit things.
Yes. Oh, somebody did ask when that starts next. We didn't say that.
So we have signups right now. So please sign up right now. And then you'll get all the emails about everything. It is March 31st through April 4th is the bootcamp.
Okay. I'm going to put Tricia's link in the comments again.
Yeah. And so how the Fitabulous Fit Bootcamp works is you sign up, and there's a big welcome party, and I explain all the details of how everything's going to work. But the basic things of it is at 10 a.m. Eastern every morning for the 31st through the 4th. You will get an email from me that says, here's your daily video to teach you about today's lesson. You're learning my 5-step CCA system on how to get the perfect fit. So every day you learn a new step. It's pre-recorded videos, so it's okay if you are in another part of the world. We have people join from all over the world: Australia, Canada, England, Hawaii, Africa, all over the place. So it doesn't matter where you are. Pre-recorded videos. We do have a live every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I know not everybody can make that time, but we do that on Zoom.
Right.
So that you don't have to be on social media at all. I do talk a lot about it on social media, so that's how I can let people know and find people. And we do a lot of interaction on social media. There is a pop-up Facebook group that is only like, we vet every single person who comes into that group, and it is tons of fun in that group because people are posting. There's prompts every day of like homework that you can turn in, and everyone's doing it all together, and you're meeting each other and connecting again. So it's like PatternCon is going to be like the boot camp on steroids and in person.
Yes.
So it's just a lot of fun. We have prizes that we give away. So every day for the 5 days, you get an email with a video and resources to do the homework. And we're going to be learning the process of fitting, of how to do a fitting. So I walk you through from the very beginning if you were starting from scratch and drafting your own pattern. But I also talk about using a commercial pattern, what you want to know, steps you want to take. And then in day 3 is when I talk about how do the order of how you look at a fitting, how to pin things out. And so that could be relative to a garment that already is finished that you're fitting. So that would be where you would pick that up. And then day 4, we talk about how to get all that information that you learned in the fitting and how to transfer it back to your pattern. And I have kind of a unique way of doing that, and it makes it super simple.
Sweet.
And then, so, and it's learning this system. We do a process all together. So we're doing the same pattern and adjustment together. So you're learning my CCA system, the process.
Nice.
But this process works for any garment, any body. So it's my process that I use and how I have been able to create costumes, out of the blue for those big conventions. So that's what the boot camp is. And if you're busy during those days or you have to miss a live, we do have the replays to the daily lives in the Facebook group afterwards. So you can watch the replays, and all of the videos and the Q&A live replays are available until that following week, until April 11th. So, and then we'll close the doors again. And then we'll open up again in the fall. So we do this twice a year.
That's awesome. And I'm serious, y'all. Like, I did this and I did learn a lot. And some of the audacity I have is because I actually watched some of it. Do I need to replay mine? Yes, absolutely. But it is really worth it. So I just wanted to thank Tricia for coming on, but we're not going to let her go without some rapid fire questions that she didn't know was coming.
Okay.
All right.
No, I didn't know.
Nope. This is the chaos, baby. Marshmallow.
Love it.
Do you have a question? Okay. Thank you. Can I ask mine now?
Oh.
All right. Favorite era of clothing?
Oh, that's tough. I really love the 40s silhouette.
Yep. Early or late?
It's not my everyday.
Early or late, because they're very different.
Huh?
Early 40s or late 40s?
Which is the more straight, probably late 40s.
Mid to late then.
Mid to late, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say probably everyday wear is more 70s.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Favorite thing about your office?
About my office?
Yeah.
About this office?
Yeah. What makes you want to go into it every day?
Maybe this trim from Backroom Finds up on my ceiling.
Okay, I wasn't trying to do a plug, but that's fine.
I know, I'm just saying. Well, we have to talk about it. Did you see that? I literally have trim to my walls. Yes,
she does.
And that is also
trim from the estate sale onto her walls, and it looks so cool.
I love it. So my friend was like, "You added seams to your walls," and really, it was just because this wallpaper that I painted over was atrocious and I couldn't deal anymore. I
Well,
had to do
but
something.
Tricia, where's your dart?
I know. Well, in my old office, I used to have patterns behind me, and one day maybe we'll get some pattern making wallpaper, but yeah. I also love, I have a sign. I'm looking because that's where all of my stuff is
Yeah.
on the wall. But I have a sign that says "Wish it, dream it, do it." You know, like
Yep.
putting together a pattern convention. And I have a sketch that my grandfather did of me. My grandfather was a famous artist, and he did a quick
Oh,
sketch of me, and I like looking at that because
that's
that was
awesome.
a cool thing that he did.
Least favorite fabric to work with?
Oh gosh, least favorite fabric to work with. Hmm.
Mine's rayon. I know it's pretty,
Yeah.
but I hate it.
Yeah, rayon's nice. I don't mind rayon. I would say like really open netting or lace because it's like sewing air.
Ah, yes, yes, the whole sewing of air. All right,
Mhm.
favorite fabric to sew?
Stretch wovens.
Really? Okay,
I like stretch wovens because you can sew them like wovens, but you got that extra give for comfort.
nice, sir. Did you think of a question for Tricia? No, you just want to harass me.
He
Okay.
just wants kisses.
Oh shoot, it just fell out of my brain. Dang it.
Minky is the devil. Designs
Oh
by Diane.
God, Minky is evil. I tried
Mhm.
it once, never again.
Sequins is not my favorite to sew either because you have to do it right. It
You have to
takes a
like
long
take them
time to
off.
prep.
Yeah.
Take them off or tie off the knots and ugh, not fun.
Okay, and then last one. If you were to only make one garment forever and ever, amen, and that was the only thing you were ever allowed to make ever again, what would it be?
Pants.
Really?
Yeah, for hands down. It
Wow,
like
you're on the Dress Girl channel, so that's impressive.
yeah. I'm a pants girl. You know why? Because I know you don't most of you guys don't know this because I'm a little person in your screen. I'm almost 6 feet tall. And it
Oh
is
no, I know that.
oh, you know that. But they don't know. Not all of them. Some of them do. Um, but yeah, and it's all in my legs. So I
Yeah.
cannot, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been able to go into a store and buy pants that fit me, that
Wow.
were high water.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
So, and I have to have my phone in my back pocket. Like when I'm wearing skirts or dresses and I'm like, where do I put this thing?
Hold please. I'm gonna
Utilitarian.
put down dog. You mean this thing right here, Trisha?
Yeah, I know. I know you could do it, but then I get my phone in there and it flops around. I don't
Not if you do
know.
it right. Attach it to your waistband. What are you
I
talking about flopping around?
believe me, I have a whole YouTube video about that too. But yes, I know. I'm a pants girl. I do love, see, I would rather go jumpsuit or romper though over a dress because I
Ooh.
do love that when you wear a dress, it's like the whole outfit's figured out. You don't have to like think about coordinating pieces.
Yeah, that's
But
my
yeah,
thing. One and done.
I have probably made more pants than anything else, which is funny because you only usually see this part of me.
I was like,
Right
you only
top.
see from like waist up
I
usually.
know. And I have to like kind of consciously force myself to make tops because I'm like, otherwise people aren't going to see what I'm making.
Yeah,
But
right?
I just love making pants because that's what I wear the most. And unless I make them, they usually aren't long enough for me.
That's fair. Well, I just want to thank I want to thank all of you for being here. We got 170 people in here to
Yes.
talk about PatternCon. We love it. We love to see it. And I hope that you all enjoyed getting to meet my friend Tricia this way. I know how cameras work. I swear. Um but I just want to thank you all so much for being here and I thank Tricia for being here. Because I am super excited because Sew Expo was a moment and we are past
It
that
brought
now.
us together, Stephanie. We met at Sew Expo
We
last
did 2024.
year.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you all. And I look forward. I hope that there will always be a few of you that might be able to traverse over to the East Coast or for those of you on the East Coast. So I will be there for the whole weekend. I will
Yes.
have a booth. Well, it's not their table setups,
Yeah.
right? So we'll have 2 tables.
Vendor tables. We'll
And
have
then
like
I
a
will be
vendor alley
teaching
that you go through.
what? Go ahead.
We'll have a vendor alley that
Nice.
people go through.
So
Yeah.
then make sure that you can come and see me. Let me know either in the chat or in the comments what you want me to bring because we're
Yes.
going to do this one smarter and we're not going to go into the red nearly as far. Hopefully not at all.
No.
But So
We
that
want
is,
patterns like your 50s and 60s patterns went really well, right?
yes. So I will be
And
bringing, the thing is
fashion
that
plates, right? You said?
I have to bring some smart 50s and 60s. I have to bring some fashion plates so that you all can decorate your offices. I will also be bringing some of my merch that I designed. I'm going to do another new sticker. So we'll have to see what my brain cooks up this time. I have a couple options.
Somebody had an idea for a sticker. It was way in the beginning. I don't remember what it was. Something
Oh,
about in chaos.
crafter's audacity.
Oh, Crafter's Audacity.
Yeah. But let me know what you want to see, what you would want to buy while we are at PatternCon, because I always want to know, because if I don't know, Sew Expo happens. So, but I really thank you all so much for being here. I usually don't do lives, so this has been so lovely
I
to have
know. I
everybody
need to
here.
do a live, you guys. Well, and Paula, thank you so much. Paula says she signed up for the boot camp because she thinks I'm adorable. Thank you.
Yay!
That's so
And
nice.
yeah, guys, Trisha's boot camp is totally free, and I learned things from it, which, as you could see, like, my videos would get more audacious. There's a reason for that. Because we never stop learning, and when you have your friend who can actually teach you how to better fit garments, and it's free, just
Free. It's
it's
free
so easy.
99. If you
But I
don't
want to
like
thank
it,
you all.
you didn't lose anything.
Yeah, I want to
It's a
thank you
whole
all
lot
so
of fun.
much, and thank you, Trisha, for coming on. And
Yes,
we
thank you, Stephanie, for having me. Thank you, everybody. It was so nice to meet everyone. Thank you.
and we will see you all next time, when we will definitely be sewing in chaos. I think I'm launching the video on Friday, so keep an eye out, because it's a doozy. Bye.